Why, hello, you amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Tuesday. I'm excited and curious for this one. Also, if I seem a bit tired or a bit out of it, this is the week of my 33-hour uncapped subathon live stream. So we started streaming midday Saturday. We streamed all the way through to Sunday evening. I didn't sleep or anything like that, so I'm still like recovering from that. I still feel kind of out of it. And just to give you guys all a heads up. Also, thank you so much to all the Swifties that came along on Twitch as well and supported it and watched the stream. There was a bunch of you, and it was really freaking sweet. And I know a lot of Swifties, because we get this comment regularly, like, aren't too sure about like coming along to the Twitch live streams, and a few of you do every now and then. It's really cute, and I love that you guys do it, because of obviously my live stream community is like more anime based. But I'll say this, and I think if the Swifties who came along, you can reiterate this point. Hopefully, we have the best of every community here. You know, we're quite lucky. We have the best of the anime community who are very welcoming to the Swifties, the best of Swifties who are very welcoming to the anime. Then we've got J-pop, K-pop, with Indonesia, Philippines, and Indian music and everything. And everyone just kind of lets everyone enjoy their own thing and jumps in and out and then. But everyone's very welcoming here. It's a pretty awesome community. So if you want to come along to any of the other things, feel free. Everyone will always be nice. And if I'm there, don't worry. Everyone will always be nice. So, bit of a random Tuesday here, but it was actually heavily requested, and it has been for a long time, and that is London Boy. I see London Boy getting recommended all the time, and I kind of wanted to make sure that when we finally reacted to it, we did this BBC interview. Because apparently there's a full BBC interview, and then Taylor performs London Boy, like either in the interview or after the interview. So I figured we just check that all out, because a lot of people said when you check out London Boy, make sure you check out the full BBC interview. They go together. I found the full BBC interview. I found London Boy, so I figured we'd just do one big Tuesday where we dedicated it just to this song and this interview. So we get to learn a little bit more about Taylor. Or I don't know if the interview is going to be... It's 16 minutes, the interview. It might all be around London Boy. I'm not actually sure. But either way, let's check it out. I'm a little bit excited for this. Make sure you press the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're super close to 500,000. We're so close. So if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. And that's it from me. Let me know what else you want me to react to. Comment down below, and let's jump into my first time ever reaction to Taylor Swift, London Boy, and a famous London Boy interview.
In New York City, a glorious hot day, but thank goodness we are in a very beautifully air-conditioned studio. And I say we because I'm sat with Taylor Swift. Hello.
Hi, welcome to New York.
Thank you very much for having me. You are here to kick off.
She said the thing. She said the thing. All right, no, I don't think I should ever be allowed to meet Taylor because I'm gonna pass out. And in some crazy world, if I'm ever in a position like this, I shouldn't be allowed to ask the questions. I
Sat with Taylor Swift. Hello.
Hi, welcome to New York.
How can
Thank
you
you very
not?
much for
How
having
can
me.
you
You
not?
are
How
here
can
to
you not?
kick off Live Lounge Month 2019. It's a bit of a big
Wait,
deal,
2019.
Taylor.
It's a big deal for me too. I'm really excited.
Well, we're so happy to have you back. It's been quite a while since you gave us the Live Lounge. And yeah, you're bringing us to New York. What is it about this city that you love so much?
I think my favorite thing about this city is that in other towns or cities or
It's so weird. There is actually like just a Taylor Swift trigger for me, because the second I just see her and hear her talking and stuff like that, I get teary-eyed. I don't even know what it is. I have no idea. Can't even explain.
whatever, things feel very spread out. But because of something about the New York, everything being on top of each other, like the night falls together. Like in LA, I love LA, but you have to
Night
plan
falls
out
together.
exactly what you're gonna do. You have to park your car, you have to tell your friends where to meet you, then you figure out where you're gonna go
Oh,
next.
like that.
Then you have to get organized. It seems like there's just this magic about the city where a night just falls together and then you end up somewhere else and you end up somewhere else, then you end up somewhere else. It doesn't seem like it happens that much anywhere else. London, it happens a bit.
London's pretty cool.
London's pretty great.
When you
It's interesting she says London, it happens a bit. I think if you've got a car in London or a car to like drive you around, it can happen a bit. Because I actually know what Taylor means a little bit. I know maybe you guys know it too. Like, do you know there's like for you guys, like for me, what I'm thinking is comparing two different cities. Like, for example, Nottingham, where I went to university, everything's in the middle. Everything is in one place. You go out in Nottingham, you can go everywhere you want to go. It's easy to get to, and you can have a whole night without having too much like hassle. And there's other cities like freaking Oxford or like Brighton, Brighton's not the best example, but it is a little bit, where you will have to travel all the way a freaking route. Like, you want to go here, people are over this side of town, over that side of town, and it's more like everything's spread out. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what Taylor was talking about, but that's how I interpreted it.
Not much anywhere else. London, it happens a bit.
London's pretty cool.
London's pretty
know
great.
about
When
London,
you
though.
first landed here, did you have that sort of cliche feeling?
it's
Like,
huge.
wow,
London's huge.
I've made it. I can be anyone. I'm in New York.
That cliche feeling was literally my entire personality for like a year. when I would be like walking down the street in New York, I'd be like, I'm going to get my groceries in New York because I'm just a girl in a big city. Like, I just was fully inspired by the whole thing. Like, I don't think you should ever have to apologize for your excitement just because it's like, I don't know.
I've got to write down the Friends building thing. Is like here in England. I don't know. I think again. Go to Friends. I'm sending my wife a message right now. Thing in London. I want to go. Taylor's just reminded me. Go to the Friends thing in London. There's also a Stranger Things play I really want to go see. I'm gonna send my wife a message right now.
Just because something's
go.
cliche doesn't mean that it's not something that's awesome.
True. What people call, supposedly cheesy, it's just joy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the worst kind of person is someone who makes someone feel bad, dumb, or stupid for like being excited about something.
No, I hear that. Well,
Worst type of person.
I'm excited to be here.
Good, yes.
Just so you
I'm not
know.
going to make you feel bad for that.
Please don't. Well, look, congratulations anyway, because I know you're excited because your album, Lover, is #1 in the UK. It's #1 pretty much everywhere at the moment.
It's been a really, really good time, with this album.
How satisfying does it feel for you to have this album be #1A, but the first album that you legally own? This is all your baby. How good does that feel?
It's the best. It's literally the most satisfying feeling in the world to own this record, to know that, this is something that I've always written all my own music. I've always made all of my own decisions. I've always curated absolutely everything about what I do.
Taylor reminds me of a saying I sort of try and live by, and I think she is literally like a perfect example of the saying, and that is, if you don't put 100% into something, how can you ever expect to get 100% out of it? And I feel like Taylor is just that example. Like, this statement that she's making right now shows that. She's always put 100% into everything she's ever done, and because of that, she gets 100% out of it. And I truly believe this is just... she is the best example of it.
I've always made all of my own decisions. I've always curated absolutely everything about what I do. But, the fact that I own it, it's just, there's something about that makes it more special than anything I've ever done.
And certain people aren't going to see a single penny of it, which is fantastic.
It's fantastic. Really good.
I do need to talk about that. He who shall not be named, Scooter. Even though I just named him. I did it. I went there. But look, it's been really interesting to sort of see how this whole thing has played out, because look, people will see stuff on the blogs, on Twitter, whatever.
I have to say, it's interesting how her demeanor completely changed then.
Oh my God, the drama, the hype, it's crazy. But this is your life. This is something that you are fully experiencing. Have you actually found sort of, peace in everybody knowing your side of the truth?
Yeah, for sure. I know
Yeah.
exactly what happened. I think if you look at what happened, it's very obvious. It's just right there.
Yeah.
But I choose to look now at the positive of getting to go back in and re-record all my own music. That, I get to go back and revisit these moments of my life. At the time that I recorded these songs, I didn't know what they were going to grow up and be. So it's actually really beautiful to get to go in and re-record this music that now I know how much it means to the fans. So I'm choosing to look at the excitement part of it. Am I happy it happened? Absolutely not. Am I ever going to be happy it happened? No. But I'm going to choose to redo all my music and be excited about that.
But which is...
all her music. Everyone. Don't put the... get that Reputation clown makeup off. We don't... I love it so much. Already people are like, oh, I'm already like, this award show is coming up. I'm already like, but I love the memes. I love it. I love it. I actually love it. It's the best. It's the best. We're all just there like, oh, she did this and this and then this. What does that mean? And just like people are like breaking it. It's actually the best.
To redo all my music and be excited about that.
But
She
which
did
is
an
great, so I
excellent
think
job
it
at
just
answering
shows
that question,
that,
by
you
the way,
can
'cause you
have
tell
that
it made
level
her
of agency.
uncomfortable.
no matter where you are in the industry. Like, it's
And she did, like,
okay
a
to
really
kind
good
of, you know, attempt at least to take back some control.
Yeah, if you're the writer of your
that
own
like-
music, that's why I always
is that a
encourage
real
new
window?
artists. Write. Become passionate about
Where's
writing. If you
wonder?
can at all, please write your music, because it's the only way that your rights can't be taken away from you in the music industry as it stands.
Right on. I mean, the last time I saw you, we were getting ready for Big Weekend. Me and Greg were introducing you on the main stage, and you were about to bring the Reputation tour to the UK. Now, that kind of era of your life, like lyrically, you know, it was, and thematically, even just looking at the visuals, it was quite dark. You know, you had the whole snake motif. You had a lot to say, had a lot to get off your chest. How much of a different person do you feel compared to Reputation Taylor to Lover Taylor?
It's a very different place where I am in my life, and a very different way that I feel like expressing myself was so much easier with this album somehow. And it's hard to explain why that is sometimes, but Reputation was such a weird dichotomy, because when I put the album out, I had expressed all these like sort of dark, rebellious feelings. And then when I went on tour, like it's almost like that changed those feelings for me. Like the tour part of it, like when I'm like standing on stage at Wembley and looking out at that crowd, like those moments were what made my life like pastel and glittery again.
Yeah.
You know, so it's strange to have an album that seemingly on the face of it, on the surface, seemed very dark. There was like a secret like double meaning of that album, in that there were a lot of love songs about what my actual life looked like, you know? But now I get to make this album, Lover, that's just like, for me, this album is freedom in every single way.
Yeah,
That's so actually interesting. It's so interesting what she just said there about Reputation. The fact that when she wrote the album, it's quite dark and there's like a lot of like darkness to it, right? Which it does. Don't get me wrong. It's epic and incredible, and will probably forever be a joint like favorite Taylor Swift album. You know. I feel like every time anyone asks me what my favorite Taylor Swift album is, or anything like that, if I have to at least have Reputation in the conversation. It's either Reputation on its own or Reputation and another one. At the moment, it's Reputation and Midnights. I don't know. It changes a lot. And I haven't even heard all of Midnights. I love it. The songs I have heard, I just love so much. But to say like when she wrote Reputation, created Reputation, it was very dark, and obviously had a lot of like dark meaning behind it and a lot of pain in it, and she like was learning to like harness that, and you know, and use that for like, you know, revenge, in a way, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. But what I love so much about it is her then saying that when she went on tour and performed it, that live performance, worldwide tour, and performing those songs in front of people changed her mood. So she wrote this album with that like moody, dark nature, performed this album around the world, and by the time she ended that performance, the album that she wrote with those feelings had changed her feelings into the feelings that she now has when she wrote Lover, which is insane. It's crazy. Wrote Reputation with this mood, performed Reputation, which created this mood, which then created Lover. You know what I mean? Isn't that just amazing?
There's a certain joy to this record that I think, obviously, as you mentioned, was there a Reputation, but it's just more overt. It seems to me that you just want to have a nice time.
Yeah, it's not joy in spite of anything.
Yes.
It's just joy.
Yeah.
I do want to just have a nice time.
That is the feeling that I got from the record. I was just like, okay,
I'm literally just going to describe it as that from now on. Reputation is about trying to have a nice time in spite of a lot of things. Like, Lover, I just want to have a nice time. Yeah.
And we hear it.
I'm just here to have a good
time.
time.
Period. Now look, you've got a very public-facing job. You are this singer that everybody knows. You are somebody that is spoken about whatever your intention is. Like I said to my producer earlier, you could tweet the word hello, right? And the Swifties would be like, yes, Queen, she said hello. But then somebody could be like,
passive aggressive.
Why is she saying hello?
Petty.
Queen?
Why did she do that?
Yeah.
Why is she greeting us?
Yeah.
Who is she greeting?
Yeah.
She greeted us too soon. She greeted us too late.
Yeah.
She greeted us with a weird undertone.
Hello.
If she tweeted hello right now, everyone would be trying to connect it to Reputation. Don't even act like you wouldn't. They'd be like, H is the X. The H is the what number of the alphabet? A B C D E F G. H is the eighth letter. Eighth letter of the alphabet. 8 plus 5 is 13. Oh my word! Like Don't even. Don't. Actually, this is in the past. Stop writing it down.
Hello, hi. What does she mean? How do you
I actually would as
navigate
well.
that space
It's not
between
even a
like
joke.
your lovers
I
and
love
your
it.
haters at this point in your career?
Oh, I think that one thing that the Reputation era of my life per se did for me was it taught me that I can live my life without any public approval and still have a really, really wonderful life.
Yeah.
And still want to make music and still want to connect with my fans, and like my love of music and my love of what I do and my ability to carve out a life of my own within that is a possibility.
Yeah. You've been doing this for about 13, 14 years now. You've seen how social media affects fandoms. Do you put pressure on yourself to kind of live up to that? Because people want so much from you. You know, they don't want just an autograph anymore. They want a selfie. They want you to talk to them on live streams. They want exclusive content. How have you managed to adapt to that?
I'm good with all that stuff because I've always been like, that part of the job is fun. Like, I remember when I first got a record deal, I went to Nashville and I was like, you guys don't understand, like the internet's gonna be a big part of music. Like, I have a MySpace and I have all these followers on MySpace, and these people listen to my music on there and they're like, what? Like, all we need is radio and CD sales. And I'd be like, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a factor. And so you just never know what's going to happen. Like, there's always, every new album release is different because there's always a new platform. There's always a new, way to have people experience your music.
I do want to say something that she's pointing out here, which is something I only usually see with like Korean artists, a lot of K-pop groups. I'd say more specifically male K-pop groups, just because they get asked this question a lot about like what like in interviews all the time. They talk about like fandoms and interviews where they're like, oh, what's the craziest thing a fan has done, and this sort of stuff. And you see it a lot in like K-pop artists where they shut down that statement in like a really smart way. And I feel like Taylor has that same respect and love for her fans, for the Swifties, which you see a lot. Which is like, you'll see interviewers like ask these questions about them, and like, oh, people want this from you. You know, the fans want this from you. The fans want this now, and how are you adjusting to that? And Taylor, like she just said, she's always given everything back to the community, and I think that's partially why we just all love her so much, is because we all give her all this energy, which she constantly, especially you guys, which she constantly will reference and talk about. And her live shows is mind-blowing with the fact that everyone in the crowd, all nearly 100,000 people, are all just dancing and moving and singing all her songs, and she's always like just so grateful. And we've seen it in her shows where she literally gets down in the crowd, and when she's walking through the crowd, she's saying hello to everyone, giving everyone the time and that much attention, and she does love it, and it is a genuine love, and we all know that, we all feel that, and that is something so special, you know. It's something that you really don't get as much as you feel like maybe you should, or you feel like maybe like, I don't know, it's just weird when you have these. It's weird. It is weird that it isn't a normal thing to like love your fans, because those people give you everything of them. And it's so strange that I'm saying this right now, but Taylor is an outlier in how much she loves her community. And isn't that weird that that's kind of true?
It's a new, way to have people experience your music. I find it interesting. I'm not like gonna sit here and ever be the person that's like, it was only good the way it was when I started. Like, no, it's great. It's good now. Like, I like the fact that people can experience music in whatever way fits their life. And like, it's kind of awesome to have that insight of like, wow, I've seen so many things change in the last 15 years. And that's cool. It's not like daunting and weird and terrifying.
Especially when it comes to using your voice, because, I wanted to talk about how you use social media to get everything across, not just your music, but your views. You've been a lot more outspoken, like notably.
I just wanted to pause just to say, I absolutely love her hair. I've been like looking at her hair this whole time, and I'm like, she has the coolest freaking hair ever. It's so awesome.
Not just your music, but your views. You've been a lot more outspoken, like notably over the past kind of 3 or 4 years. Like, I remember in 2018 when the midterm elections came through, I tweeted that owl emoji that turns around like that, saying, okay, Taylor Swift is moving with some Dixie Chicks energy. Well, all right. Because I think a lot of people like didn't see it coming, and it's something to be applauded because you know, you had been notably sort of quiet in people's eyes about where you leaned and what you thought politically. Like, were you worried about any backlash, or did you come to a point of indifference?
I wasn't worried about backlash because I think at a certain point it's about right and wrong. And I think that I've always wanted to go directly to fans, to people who care about my music when I talk about something. Like, so when you have like a Tumblr blog or an Instagram post that can reach.
I got a random question. It's going to come across... It's not going to come across weird. By the way, if I seem loopy on stuff I'm saying doesn't make much sense, I am totally knackered. And to like I like feel my brain like switching off. Not with this, but like when I talk, my brain will like, nah, I don't feel like finishing this sentence. And I'm like, Let me just reboot. So things I'm not making... If I'm not making much sense, I apologize. If people are watching this, this is the weirdest reaction I've ever seen from Luke. What is wrong with him? There you go. I forgot what I was going to say. Yes, that was it. Is there an interview where a Swiftie interviews Taylor? Because I love the interviews where like a fan interviews an artist. That's what I've always tried to do when I interview artists. Is like it's been cool because as a huge K-pop fan, I've got to interview a lot of K-pop artists, and I'm a big fan of so many of them. And I love that energy, and I love that you get the unique questions, the more unusual questions. So as much as I'm enjoying this interview, it's making me think like I would love to like have like someone sitting in that chair that's like a huge fan of Taylor, and I don't know anything about the lovely person doing the interview, but I would like to know, is there like a mega Swiftie interview of Taylor? Because wouldn't that be awesome to see? And what questions would get asked then?
Reach that many people. Like, we have some really, really important times coming up. Like, I
love checking out interviews of Taylor because I never see them.
Most imperative time in our political history, I think, coming up for us in America. And so I just want, you know, you really can't care at a certain point if you're gonna be honest about what you think and how you feel and what you believe in. Like, it's just, you have to, I think, put it out there and then just log off. So that's what I do.
Well, no, I've definitely felt that with you, you know, doing a song with Dixie Chicks. It's such a bold statement, you know. For people that don't know, Dixie Chicks are an incredible band, arguably one of the biggest country bands in the world.
The best band we ever had in country music.
Fantastic, like harmonies are on point, like beautiful band. They made a statement about George Bush a few years ago, and that pretty much like blacklisted them in Nashville, and the fact that you got them on your album like says a lot.
They're one of the main reasons why I wanted to be in country music, because, you know, when I was growing up and I would look at country artists, only when the Dixie Chicks and Shania Twain and Faith Hill came along did I see people who were making these storyteller songs using acoustic country instrumentation, but putting on like pop spectacle shows, making pop videos, like
Ready to Run, great tune.
Yes, and also just like the fact that they were so overt in their femininity as well as so overt in their strength. Like, you know, sometimes people get those things confused and think those elements to a woman are mutually exclusive, but they were so firm, so bold, also so feminine when they wanted to be. They affected me so much and they inspired me so much. And like to have
anyone else just feel like Taylor's just describing herself, and I mean that in like the best way possible, you know, so bold, so feminine, and it is true. Like she said, people do think those are mutually exclusive, and you know, again, Taylor just like what's the word where you don't mean to do it? She doesn't mean to do it, but she's showing us, sort of explaining who she is. You know, she is very bold and she is very feminine. You know, in some videos, I'm like jaw dropped at Taylor. In other videos, I am terrified of Taylor and hiding behind sofa cushions. And I love that she's like that.
They affected me so much and they inspired me so much. And like to have them on my album is something that feels like a full circle thing in so many ways that I can't even encapsulate them in words.
Do you feel that this new boldness that we're seeing from you and this level of openness has like changed some of your fan base? Have you welcomed new fans that you weren't expecting before?
I haven't really looked at it as a cause and effect type thing. Mm-hmm. To me, it feels completely separate from my career. I literally don't look at the response to when I say something. Like, I'm not looking for, oh, so-and-so liked it, so-and-so didn't. Like, it's just, to me, I think that for so long people said, you know, it is our obligation to stand up and say when things are wrong, and I completely agree. That's where it comes from. Like, I wasn't monitoring like if people kind of bailed on me or if people joined, and it's not about that at all. It's something way bigger.
It is very true. That is so true. You should stand up when you see something wrong, and that goes in everyday life. Just because you're not saying something negative and you think that means okay, that's not how it works. We've gone over this a lot of times before. If you're not part of the problem, you need to be part of the solution. You can't sit in the middle. And you have to help push the solution. And that can go in huge issues that we see all the time in the world. It can also be tiny ones, you know. Tiny example would be my family, for example. Whenever members of my family fall out and like don't talk to each other, none of my other family members intervene, try and help, try and encourage a fix. None of them. Every single family member will go, not get involved, that drama is between you and you. And this has caused, in my family, so many family members to just not talk to each other for years because no one intervenes. And the one issue that I have these days, never used to be an issue, is I live really far away from all of my family. So I cannot intervene. And they just don't reply to my messages or answer my calls, so I can't intervene. But when I lived close, like my brother and my dad had a falling out. My dad has fallen out with everyone in my family. But when my brother and my dad had a falling out, the difference between my brother and my dad having a falling out and me and my dad having a falling out is crazy. My brother and my dad had a falling out. I lived in Nottingham. I got a train down from Nottingham all the way to the town just outside of Brighton where they live. I then picked up my brother, took him to my dad, and they sorted it out. That easy. When I fall out with my dad, my brother just puts his hands up and says, it's between you two, not getting involved. That's the difference. And all of my family is like my brother, and I've always tried to be the other one. Like I said, big issues, but if you want to have that kind of personality, start it small in your life, you know? Wherever you see wrong, always speak out.
Speaking the truth.
I think you have to. And also, I think the things that happen to you in your life are the things that shape your political opinions.
This feels like it's going to be a really weird reaction.
You know what I mean?
Tuesday.
Like, I've had
just me
things happen
rambling
in the last couple of years, a sexual assault trial, all kinds of things that have really shaped how much it matters to say your experience, to speak your experience into the world, and to stand up for things that, you know, things are not going well in the world.
Yes.
Not saying that and not kind of having a call to action, like for voting. Like, I always want there to be a call to action for people to educate themselves on our system of government. I wanted people to know you do have to register by a certain date if you want to vote in midterms. Like, these weren't elements of like information that I thought were readily available to the public. So I was just like, hey, if I can stand here with 121 million Instagram followers and say this, maybe this helps. Maybe it doesn't, but you got to say it.
Let's talk about London Boy. So this track mentions many places in the glorious city of London. We're talking Hackney, we're talking Camden, Bond Street, Highgate. Now, logistically, I just want to kind of get around the lyrics of this song. Now, was this supposed to be all in one day? And if so, how does Taylor Swift get around? Do you have an Oyster card?
This is supposed to be over the course of 3 years.
Okay.
I was like somebody told me.
Is this supposed to be all in one day? Did you get around with an Oyster card? I love this interviewer, but her questions are so random. And then it's like, no, it was over 3 years. It was like earlier with the question about politics was like, oh, you made this political statement. Were you nervous? And it's like, okay. I feel like the question could have been a little bit different there. I feel like I'm not throwing any shade here because the questions have been amazing and the professionalism is outstanding. But they've also been so random. I like to imagine that you know what, actually that's the best question ever. How did you get around? Did you use an Oyster card? Come on, that's fantastic.
To be over the course of 3 years.
Okay.
I was like,
makes a little bit more
somebody
sense.
told me they think
I'm looking forward to hearing this song
one
now.
day, and I was like, oh no,
yes,
you'd never make it.
Right, okay.
You wouldn't make it.
No, you could.
Categorically, it's over the space of 3 years.
Yeah, you'd make it in 3 years.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's good. Because I was thinking, how does she do that?
Oh my God.
All in one day. That's good to know. And the other line about not threatening, babe, don't threaten me with a good time. Was that inspired by Gemma Collins? She's a big reality TV show star in the UK.
No, it's just something that some of my British friends say all the time.
Right, babe, don't threaten me with a good time.
And they say it exactly like that. So forgive the impression.
This
I'm
is
glad
gonna
we
be
got
great.
those
Can't wait
hard
to hear it.
facts down on
Can't wait to hear
camera. Now, Taylor, you are about to kick off Live Lounge Month. Can you let us know what those songs are?
All right, I will do it. So the first song is London Boy. We've done sort of a stripped down acoustic version of it. And I've never played this song live before, so this is the debut.
Fantastic.
We're doing an acoustic version of Lover, which is probably my favorite song I've ever written. That I'm so proud of that song. Next, we're doing an acoustic version of The Archer, which is another song off of Lover. Next, we're doing my cover song, which is a song by Phil Collins called Can't Stop Loving You. I just think it's so beautiful. And Phil Collins is just
did
like
a whole set?
icon, legend, you know. But basically then I'm doing
Also, just throwing it out there, love Phil Collins. I love Phil Collins. I love his music. I Don't Care Anymore is such a fantastic song. I love that song so much. It's just brilliant.
song called Holy Ground, which is off of an album of mine called Red. And it's a song that's a huge fan favorite.
Did you perform all of these
The way
here?
that it's on, the way that it is on the album is very different than
She
the
did
way
a
that
whole,
we're going
like,
to
BBC
perform
radio
it.
show.
So I wanted to kind of sort
Quite
of
a lot of
flip
songs,
the
like a
coin
full
of the
live
song and
concert.
show like another side of it by doing it on piano and having it be like much more acoustic, emotional. And then the last song we're doing is You Need to Calm Down.
But of course,
So that's what's on the menu for today.
that is a good looking
You
menu.
Need to Calm Down
Thank
will
you.
always be one of my
Right,
favorites.
Taylor Swift in the Live Lounge. Let's go.
You Need to Calm Down will always be one of my favorites. Like, You Need to Calm Down is just the best. It is absolutely just the best. It is such a great song. It's got an amazing music video. It has a fantastic meaning and importance to it. It is utterly wonderful. I love it every single time I hear it. It is incredible. I feel like I need to watch all of these BBC Live Lounge performances. However, we are not going to be able to do that today because it sounds like there is a lot of them. And I wanted this video to be centered around London Boy. So we are going to indeed listen to London Boy. I really like this because there's like Taylor, like in terms of her music, I feel like I know Taylor's music more than I know Taylor. And that's like just because of the stuff we've gone down this rabbit hole watching together. And I really love the interviews and the behind the scenes and the documentaries. And I feel like with Journey to Fearless and what we've been checking out recently and then seeing her live, I'm getting to see a different side, which is being amazing. And I'm enjoying that. So hopefully you guys are as well, because it has been a lot of fun. And I do love checking out the interviews and the behind the scenes and everything like that. So if there's any incredible ones, fire them my way. I always like checking them out. But for now, after checking out the interview with Taylor on BBC, I think it is about time we checked out London Boy for the first time ever. Let's do it.
Radio 1.
Oh, she has the band there with her. Ah, I didn't know if BBC like provided a band. The Starlights are there too?
I love my hometown as much as Motown. I love SoCal.
Ah, it's amazing.
And you know I love Springsteen, faded blue jeans, Tennessee whiskey. But something happened, I heard him laughing. I saw the dimples first and then I heard the accent. They say home is where the heart is, but that's not where mine lives. You know I love a London boy. I enjoy walking Camden Market in the afternoon. He likes my American smile like a child when I eyes me. Darling, I fancy you. Took me back to Highgate, met all of his best mates. So I guess all the rumors are true. You know I love a London boy. Boy, I fancy you. Ooh.
Am I insane in saying that this song has a reggae feel to it? Am I going to look like a complete idiot saying that? Am I the one who gets that? I feel like you could change this song a tiny little bit and it would really like fit a reggae style. And I don't know if that makes me just sound like a nut job or if people are going, you know what, it does. Because that's kind of what I'm getting from it. You know, is interesting. Kind of like an indie reggae sort of vibe. I don't know if that's just from the live version, but definitely feeling that. I do love the freaking lyrics. I mean, Camden Market I'm going to be like this. I'll be like, I know that place. I know that place. I'm actually seeing a band in Camden soon. Very soon, actually. I'm not the biggest fan of Camden. It's like, I'd say Camden in the evening is very different to Camden in the day. Camden in the day, very tourist friendly, very fun. Camden in the evening, not so much. But you know, I definitely reckon Captain in the Day is lovely, and that's when the market's open, and that's when it's like very nice.
So I guess all the rumors are true. You know I
Love that the Starlights are there. I love that so much. You got a band, you got the singers. Love it.
And now I love high tea, stories from uni and the West End. You can find me in the pub, we are watching rugby with his school friends. Show me your grey sky or rainy cab
Oh, grey sky.
Babes, don't threaten me with a good time. They say home.
Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that one more time. It's not grey right now. It's half grey. It's half grey and half blue, which is what the best we can get here in England for the summer. We actually did a statistical lookup on a Patreon video recently to see how many days of a year it rains here in England. Did you know here in the UK it rains 50% of the days of a year? I think it was just under, which means every other day in the UK it technically rains. Isn't that insane?
Rainy cab ride, babes, don't threaten me with a good time. They say home is where the heart
Nailed it. The Babes was really good.
God, I love the English.
Ah, that's me!
Shortage in the afternoon.
Shortage! Ah, Shortage is lovely in the afternoon. I saw Papa Roach in Brixton, actually. I got to see them live years and years ago. Well, speaking of that, Papa Roach, did anyone see the news about Papa Roach? Any of you follow Papa Roach on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok? Anyone notice a face pop up? I couldn't believe it! Ah!
Smile like a child when our eyes meet. Darling, I fancy you.
This song is such a vibe! It really does feel weirdly reggae, and I don't know if I'm crazy.
Show me Hackney, doesn't have to be Louis V up on Bond Street. Just wanna be with you. Wanna be with you.
Oh, what a different vibe.
Your queen like a Tennessee, Stella McCartney on the heat. Just wanna be with you. Wanna be with you.
Oh, she sounds so good. Oh, 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 the attitude, the vocals. I gotta say, Taylor on this is crushing me. Absolutely. The looks down the camera, the smiles, the like performance along with this song are literally melting my heart. It's like the song is literally talking about like, you know, I fancy you, like, and it's got like that romantic nature to it and the American and English sort of connection there, and he loves my American smile and everything like that. And I feel like Taylor is literally embodying the energy of like everything that the lyrics is saying. You know, this American girl going around London and just enjoying all the aspects of it, you know. And I love that Taylor behind that microphone right now is once again performing that, and it's just melting me. It is wonderful. This song is such a like positive, fun, just smile vibe. You can't listen to this and not feel good. It is utterly wonderful. And as a random British person who has fallen down this Swiftie rabbit hole hard, this is the best.
Boy, I fancy you. So please show me Hackney, doesn't have to be.
You see what I mean? Look at her behind that microphone. How does that not melt your heart? Oh, her voice!
Stick with me,
Woo.
I'm your queen like a Tennessee, Stella McCartney on the heat. Just wanna be with you. Oh, oh, I fancy you. Ooh.
Her little laugh! Her little laugh. How have I been recording my audio for 40 minutes? Wow. This reaction is a longer one than I expected it to be. This is what happens when Sleepy Luke records a reaction. I don't even know if this has been a good reaction. I don't know if people are watching this going, this is one of Luke's weirdest reactions ever. Half of it didn't even make sense. I might watch this back in the editing and I'm just not even making any sense. I do apologize if it has been a weird reaction. You'll have to forgive me. I've had fun recording it though. I've really enjoyed it. The song was amazing. Like such a freaking vibe. I felt like I was there. I did. I felt like I was there. Like I was watching this romantic British like rom-com unfold, you know? And I'm watching it. I'm there, but I'm like not watching it in the cinema. I'm watching it like I'm part of the group, you know? Like if Taylor had like a group of people with her and this rom-com is unfolding, I'm there, you know? I'm watching it like with my own freaking eyes. I don't know if this makes sense. Hopefully it does, but that's what it felt like. It felt like the unfolding of this fairy tale, but like modernized fairy tale love story of two people falling in love from different continents and falling in love in London and going around London seeing different things. And as someone who knows London, I can like visualize these streets and these areas and like see them doing these things. Everything they say, I'm imagining it happening. And it really felt like the equivalent of a narration of a romance movie. That's what it felt like. Like this song is more of a narrator walking us through what we are seeing, you know? And I feel like without even like a music video or anything like that, it's just a very visual song. Like you can really picture it and you can follow it with your mind. And that's what it felt like. And Taylor just embodying the emotions of the song just made it even better with like her smiles and her performance and her movements and just feeling the energy of it. It really just was like captivating in the best way. I was imagining it. I was literally there. I was imagining Taylor like this like romantic sort of silly story unfolding down Camden and going to Soho and Shoreditch and just trying all these like seeing all these sights and then trying these different foods and drinks. And I was there. I was literally there. It was amazing how she was able to just like create this fantastic mental image with these lyrics and the performance. And I just can't help but smile and feel really good. It's a very feel-good song. Right. I hope you enjoyed my reaction. Hopefully it made some kind of sense, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Have yourself an amazing freaking day. Thank you so much for taking some precious time out of it and spending it with me. I really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed this reaction, please like the video, please subscribe for more. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.